So, hello and welcome everyone. Today we have with us Dr. Sathvik, who secured a rank of 153 All India. Heartiest congratulations, Sathvik.
Thank you, ma'am.
So, how are you feeling?
Yeah, it's a very awesome feeling. The 6 months of hard work finally paid off, ma'am. Really, it's very nice.
That's nice. Okay, so Sathvik, just give a little background about yourself. Where are you from? Where have you done your UG from?
Yeah, I'm from Koppa, Chikmagalur district, Karnataka. I
Okay,
did UG from SDM Dental College, Dharwad.
okay, okay. And so, uh, let us talk about which course of DAMS you were a part of and how was DAMS helpful in your journey.
Yeah, I was a part of MDS regular live.
Okay,
The class were very awesome. I think more than 90% of the questions from the notes only. I
okay,
love the lectures. All the lectures I love because it's very awesome. The teaching are very precise, and I love listening to lectures. Like it was very awesome. Dance journey was.
okay. Also, tell me that throughout the year, what was your strategy? How did you study? How did you
Uh,
prepare? And what
I
role did DAMS play a part in it?
I started my journey end of my internship, 3 or 4 months back of my internship only. Final year
Okay,
I didn't study that much, but once I
okay,
started with, I used to listen to lectures every day. I used to come from college, go to gym, and again listen to lectures. First, I started completing lecture one by one, one by one, one by one. Then I
okay,
started with test series. Along with test series, at the end of my lecture, I started with test series and lecture together, like they
okay.
combined.
All right. So this is a very good point that you have mentioned that you were also physically active along with your preparation. So I think that gives you an added benefit or added edge. Would you like to shed some light on that?
Yeah, that was the most necessary thing you have to do, ma'am. Otherwise, it might if a mind gets frustrated, you can't read only, ma'am. So
Okay,
keeping physically active is the best thing I have done myself. So that I
that
can
is
get more focus. Even though I read 2 hours, I can finish the 4 hours work in 2 hours.
definite. That is, I
Even
think,
in
a very
the
important message that juniors should also take. That you should, apart from studies, you should engage in some recreational activity which will help you increasing
ma'am,
the focus. I think a
even though in
message,
the
very important message to the juniors over there. Yes, please go ahead.
yes, ma'am. Even though in these 6 months I used to study 8 hours, 8 to 10 hours. That's my max. First
Oh,
I used to study. For first 1 month I used to study 12 hours. Then I
oh,
don't feel that much studying. So 8 to 10 hours is my maximum study I used to do.
okay.
But these
And
recreational activities help me so much that even the 10 hours I can finish the 14 hours work like that.
yes, so you mean to say your concentration span increased. Okay,
Yeah, conversation.
and also, what was your strategy on the day of the exam? Like, how did you go about attempting the exam? How many questions you attempted, and in how many rounds did you complete your exam? So that the future aspirants have an idea.
I attended 230 out of 240 questions, ma'am.
Okay,
In part A, I kept myself for 10 minutes extra time.
okay.
In 100 minutes, in 90 minutes, I finished all the questions like that.
So in that 10 minutes, did you
Then,
revise or
yeah, in that 10 minutes, I used to
10?
revise.
Okay, you've used to revise.
Hmm.
So
But then there is only two options. There is no revive and next is likely it's not useful though so much. Either you know
okay,
the
and
answer or you skip it.
don't know the answer. Correct, very correct. So this new pattern of dividing the paper into blocks and timed sections.
Yeah.
So was it any different? How did it affect? Was it an advantage? Was it a disadvantage?
I think, ma'am, it doesn't affect that much, ma'am.
Okay,
Because it's already like that. You have to divide and only complete only. Otherwise, you can't complete only. Even though if for 240 minutes, you should divide part A and part B and you should set your time limit. In 50 minutes, 30 minutes, you have to do 50 questions like that. If you set like that,
definitely.
then it's not a
So
matter.
So you mean to say that time management should be there and some time should be kept aside for the revision.
Yeah, ma'am. At least 10 minutes. Some
10
questions
minutes
you
for
will
the
skip now. You can, yeah.
and what about there will always be certain questions which will be new for everyone. What suggestion
Yeah.
would you give how to attempt them or whether to leave them?
I feel if you are able to rule out two options and if you are sure about the marked questions, it is perfectly right, then you can go ahead, ma'am. Otherwise, so some questions are likely new. You can leave it only. Leaving is the best.
Yeah. So
Based on
keeping
the
in
previous
negative.
section, we can decide, ma'am.
Yes. So keeping the negative marking in point, I think Dr. Sathvik has given a very valid point how to go about your attempting your questions which are relatively new to you. So, what message would you like to give to your juniors or your future aspirants regarding how should they prepare? What if they are afraid of certain things? If they are afraid of it, how should they start and how should they approach NEET MDS?
I would like to suggest at least start the preparation by the start of internship, ma'am. Otherwise, it
Okay.
will be very much complicated and very much stressed out. You will get zoned out.
Okay.
Then in the zoned out only, if in the stress only, if a month is gone, then it's gone only.
And
So
how
at
should
beginning of the
the
at least
yes, at least
at
beginning
the
of internship.
beginning of the internship, we have to start the preparation, ma'am. How much
And how
early is
should
very best
okay, as early as possible, you mean to say.
possible. Yeah.
And how should they balance between theory and questions? How did you do it?
Can you repeat the question, ma'am?
How should they balance between theory and questions? Like how much time should they give to the theory aspect and to the questions by practicing of questions throughout their preparation and towards the last days? How should the balance be there? Like if suppose
If you
the student has started preparing today for the next year's NEET, how much should a student concentrate on the theoretical aspect and the questions aspect in the starting, and how should the strategy change towards the end? What would you suggest to your future
uh,
aspirants and your juniors?
first beginning you should do with the lectures, ma'am. Like
Okay.
example, if I took oral surgery, I used to complete the oral surgery lectures first.
Yes. Okay.
Then I would go ahead with the like ortho. While listening to the
Okay.
ortho subject, I used to solve the oral surgery questions.
Okay. All right.
If I listen 4 hours of ortho, then I would suggest complete one topic of oral surgery questions. By the
All
end of
right.
ortho, it should be complete. We should have complete all the oral surgery questions. Then I
Okay.
go ahead with cons. You solve ortho questions.
Okay. So that that
Like that, I used
portion
to do,
theory
ma'am.
is getting, so that the previous subject theory is getting reinforced by solving the questions.
Yeah, yeah, ma'am.
Or
And weekly one test you should take, ma'am.
you should take so that you are in the practice of answering questions. So very
Yeah, we
important
touch on.
point I
Yeah,
think for our future aspirants, your practicing of questions is also very very important along with strengthening your theory. So
yeah,
Satvik, which branch
yeah, ma'am.
are you interested in, and what would you like to pursue?
I have three branches in my head, ma'am. Now, as of now,
Okay,
oral surgery, ortho, or cons. I like to either and three of them. I like to
I
do,
do
ma'am.
three of them. Okay. So it was wonderful having Satvik All India Rank 153 with us, and we wish him all the very best for his future endeavors. All the best, Satvik, and hoping to meet you sometime
Thank
soon
you, ma'am.
here in Delhi. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.